Hello everyone, this is Lucy05 and welcome to the Comic Command Central Toy Review. And today's toy review, we're looking at the 2010 release by Hasbro of the Iron Man 2 action figure review. And today's action figure review, we're looking at the comic series number 27 of the Hulkbuster Iron Man figure. Now, I got this straight from the toy department store for 39 ringgit and 90 cents. Other sculpture shops tend to sell it for 40-45 ringgit. But for this figure, it's really worth the price due to the amount of plastic being used for this figure, and he is a bit more heavier compared to the rest of the Iron Man 2 figures. Now, at the front of the packaging, you see a Hulkbuster there. The figure itself took majority of the space inside the packaging. Even the 3 armor cuts is being squished on one side, it's more slanted inwards, unlike the rest of the packaging where it's flat out showing you the cards itself. But due to the size itself, they have to push the cards inwards. Now at the front part of the packaging itself, it's stated it comes with a figure stand. Like all Iron Man 2 action figures, they already have a base stand. They already have the figure stand itself. The only reason they put it there because they have nothing to put there because the figure doesn't come with any accessory. Example, the Guardsman packaging. You have the snap-on repulsor blast, and that's the area where they put the accessory itself. Since this figure doesn't come with an accessory, they have to, well, try to put any sort of description there, and they have to come up with this really lazy description saying with figure stand. Speaking of the figure stand, hiding behind the figure itself is the figure stand here. Now at the back of the packaging, at the top part here, you got the biography of the Hulkbuster Iron Man. Here you got the image of the Hulkbuster figure. And here it's stated with figure stand. Do you see the figure stand? Now, example of the Guardsman packaging, he's fully equipped with his accessory, and it stated it has the snap-on repulsor blast. At least the accessory is there. But Hasbro being lazy and not use any other descriptions, they have to use the word with figure stand, but the image itself doesn't show that he has a figure stand. So that's my thought there. On the side of the packaging itself, you got series number 28, Iron Man armor, the red and gold classic armor, except this is the Mark III armor with a horn face mask. Series number 29 is the Guardsman armor worn by Kevin O'Brien, who went insane. And series number 30 is the Iron Man armor Mark VIII. So, I already babbled long enough. Let's open up this packaging so I can molest the toy. Be right back. And we're back. I'm removing the figure and the rest of the stuff out from the packaging. Now let's take a look at the standard Iron Man 2 base stand here. You got the base stand here, and there's a peg there to fit at the bottom part of the figure's heel. There's a hole there. You may think that this humongous action figure may not fit this base stand, or the contrary, it actually does fit. Sort of. As you can see here, the toe sort of jotted out a little bit more. But it still fits, and it can still stand on the base stand itself. Now, I already complained a lot of times about this base stand that Hasbro churned out. They waste money to add this empty slate there, but not bother to imprint the name of the figure itself. Top part of the base itself, you have this 3 slots to fit this 3 armor piece cards. You got the torso, the legs, and the arms and head. You can swap around with the other Iron Man 2 figures to make your own armor. It's really nicely done. Now, let's take a look at the figure itself. The figure doesn't come with any accessories at all. This is what you're gonna get. Plus that and the cards. Now, the paint job on the figure itself, the red part don't seem to feel like it's painted at all. It felt very plasticky, if I'm gonna use that term. It's not painted at all, except for the gold part. And you have to be careful with the gold paint job because it chips off really easily, as shown like this. So you have to be careful on the torso part. When you try to turn the figure, it tends to chip off the inner part of the inside of this torso itself. The arc reactor in the middle, or the unibeam, is slightly smudged. And the face mask is still okay, except for the mouth part here is a bit smudged as well. At the back here, you got this There's two exhaust pipes that is also painted, But that's all the paint job you're gonna get. You got some little bit of gray paint jobs on some of the rivets here, but not a lot. Sculpt of the figure is really good job. I mean, this is really nice. Every part of the body itself is very detailed. The fingers are very nicely done, as you can see here. Of course, this hand is an enclosed fist, and the other hand here is open up. As you can see that fingers are really thin, but very nicely done. All the details are there. Look at this. All the hinges. Of course, it's too bad the fingers can't move. Then you got the shoulder pads. Look like a turtle shell. Very nice. Arms here. It's quite nicely done. Front part of the body, the torso. Then you got the legs itself. Very nicely done. The shin armor. Back part of the legs itself. Got the pistons going on. Very nice. Not painted. Bottom part of the feet. Very nice. You got the thrusters there. On the back of the figure, you got a spine going on, and more engine parts, and the exhaust pipe. The head is rather simplistic, but it follows just like in the comics. Let's take a look at the articulation. The head don't turn all the way around to 360 degrees. It just barely go to the left and right, especially on the right. It's a bit too tight. At least it can still turn left and right, that's still okay. Torso, however, can move left and right. I also forgot to mention about this smudge paint job, this red smudge there. So really shoddy paint job there. The shoulder pads is not movable, it's just stuck at this kind of position. But the arms can move all the way up like so, all the way back with no hindrance. Shoulders can also lift all the way up like that. Then you have the elbow joint that can actually turn left and right like so, because it's hindered by this extra piece here. Elbow also bend this far, and the wrist turns 360 degrees. Very nice. Now the hip joint is a ball joint, so you have to twist the ball joint itself to one direction. It's really pain sometimes, and it can bend all the way this much. You can hear it's really tight joints. Swivel tie that turns 360 degrees. Double jointed knee that bend this far. And the ankle articulation can turn 360 degrees and go downwards, which is really tight for some reason. It doesn't bend all the way down because it's also hindered by this piece here, and you have to be extra careful. And forward a little bit. Not much of a difference. Just a little bit. So, overall, I really like this figure. The sculpt is really great, and the joints are really nicely done. The joints are not tight, unlike the movie versions. Usually the movie version have really tight joints. This is very nice. It's not too loose and it's not too tight. The sculpt is excellent job, but the paint job is really sloppy. And I really don't like how the upper part of the torso itself is so close to the bottom part of the torso, it scratches the paint job here, and this part is not properly painted, it's smudged up. So if I'm gonna give a rating on this, I would say he wouldn't get an 8, he would get a 7 out of 10. Yes, a 7 out of 10. It's still a good buy. You may be able to find a better quality of the Hulkbuster. Mine, I just picked one up and I didn't expect this to happen. Then again, who can see this kind of a chip paint? So, 7 out of 10 for the Hulkbuster. This is C05 and I'm signing off.